A little bit tighter on him, please, Andrew. He's a big boy. You can really just tell the size of that individual from the thickness of his neck and the boss. That boss is the big area in between those horns that protects his skull there. But I can't get a fantastic angle on it from where we are, but he's a very, very big individual. And some people say, well, why isn't he a dominant animal and holding onto some cows? Well, there could be an individual that's bigger than him or stronger than him or has more of a temperament, greater resistance to doing that, and he's been ousted. But you just don't know. And he may go back into a herd and you get a transient herd that comes through, or several clans that join up to make a greater herd that comes through. They might trail at the back of the herd. You just never know. It's very complex, very social buffalo. But what an afternoon. Wow. I'm just really reflecting on it. I don't mean to make a pun there from where we're sitting, but just reflecting on that afternoon and the morning. Sometimes you forget what you do in a day. Like, you wonder, you think it's so much. You sort of think, did that all happen today? Did that all happen today? If you've just joined us, this is your first drive on Safari Live, and I haven't introduced myself. My name's Hayden, and Andrew on camera with me. And it was one of those days that we'll remember, and I did say it this morning, just in case you missed it. Andrew got up this morning, he came to the vehicle, we were getting the vehicle ready, he puts all the cameras on, I get all this side of, check all the tyres and everything, and he just said, I said, how you feeling, mate? And he said, it's going to be a good day today, I'm feeling fantastic, it's going to be a good one. And sure enough, wow. 20 minutes in, bang, we've got a wild dog pack on the hunt, and we stayed with them. We had that interaction up on the top area where we watched them in that beautiful light hunting, and then we followed them down to Viatella Dam where they had a drink, and then they had an encounter or a confrontation with a hyena, which I think the hyena came off second best. But they've got a fearsome reputation, wild dogs. They're extraordinary, and I just love. Sorry. I was sure that was leopard. Sorry folks, I just definitely heard something that sounded like leopard. Anyway, we'll keep our eyes open here, and that's one of the great things about just sitting in a place like this. You might get an animal that comes down to drink. Very interesting. Because there is a little water point just down here. I'm just going to move the vehicle forward a bit, folks. You never know what's around the next corner. Sometimes leopard come to this little pool down the bottom here. So we might park ourselves just here. Just down in this little valley, this sort of little depression below this dam wall. There's a little seepage of water that comes through from the dam, and sometimes we get leopard come and stop there. But have a look at that, that's quite a beautiful, beautiful little reflection. There's buffalo there. Really nice. Lovely little bat flying across here, folks. It's very hard to track, Andrew. I do apologise, mate. Lovely little batty. flying around here. We might see him fly through shot. I've got a great question from Steph in the UK. Hi, Steph. I hope the temperature's rising there. When I left, we're starting to get some really nice temperatures in the United Kingdom, so I hope the weather's good for you. Steph wants to know a couple of questions about females and reproduction and lactating females and females that are and who feeds the pups, etc. Well, Steph, there's an alpha male and an alpha female. They are the only two ones that breed. Very occasionally it's been recorded that another female might be get pregnant. There has been situations where that situation, that particular occurrence, is dealt with in a very, very, some people would find it a harsh way. But just to tell you a little bit about the lactation process, the alpha female will be the only one that feeds. Some of the other ones will sort of look after those pups, but not lactate or not feed them. And then at a certain age, about 5.5 weeks, they'll start to get a little bit of solid food, and the parents will come back down and come and regurgitate a bit of food for them. And I'm constantly looking down here, folks, just to keep an eye out. In the corner of my eye, I saw something there, but it wasn't a leopard. And what that means is that you've got a very, very strict regime. Now, there has been a situation where I've read that two females, some scientists did record, two females did get pregnant at the same time, and the alpha female prevented the other female, the other mother, from actually feeding her pups, and hence they died. So that's a really strict regime of managing the numbers in the pack, and so there doesn't get too many numbers, too many mouths to feed, too many hunting expeditions, too much work, and basically the pack starts to go into demise. So it's a very, very big job raising those pups. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question, Steph, and I hope the UK's looking good. The bluebells will be out pretty soon, I'm sure, if they're not out already. Just constantly looking around, folks. I'm just also turning the game drive channel down because it's quite loud in my ear, and I can't concentrate talking to you sometimes with it. I'm looking around all the time, so you hear noises. Leslie in California, hello and welcome to you. California, what a fantastic place, and I'm sure the weather's beautiful there at the moment too. Why am I fixated on weather? It's because I probably live in the UK. That's what we talk about. Leslie, fantastic to have you on board, and a really, really great question as well. Would the buffalo take down, would the wild dog potentially take down the buffalo? No, it's just too big. I mean, I have seen wild dog sort of hassling buffalo. If it was a situation where, remembering what I always say, there's always exceptions to the rule. They'd never take it on a bull like this or anything, but there might be a sick calf or something like that that gets lost or something, and the wild dog might take advantage of that. You do see some extraordinary things in the delta in Botswana of these animals hunting at speed, bigger prey like lechwe and stuff like that. But it just depends on what the animal is, what the situation is, how many dogs there are as well. That's a huge factor. But they generally spend time on the smaller antelope. They'd probably do young kudu and adult impala, and depending on where it occurred, particular types of gazelle and things like that. But generally speaking, they stick to the smaller antelope. So hopefully that's answered your question. So, a beautiful afternoon, a beautiful evening upon us, and I want to go back to see what Pete's up to, because he's always up to something, and I just needed to come and sit at a dam here and have a bit of a reflect on what's happened today with you, and and talk to you a little bit more about wild dogs, because it's been wild dog-tastic today. And with a new name for flat wild dogs, calling them log dogs. Thanks, Chris. I'm going to cross over to Pete now, and we'll see you just now.
Welcome back this side. Sorry, we oh, there it goes. Sorry, we just spotted something just before he came to us, but it is one of the most difficult things to see and to show, because it's tiny and it's bouncier than a rubber ball. It's called a bush baby. More specific, the lesser bush baby, but that one has bounced away. Absolutely amazing little things. Very beautiful to see, big eyes. It really looked like a fluffy toy that you would buy a little kid, but that one is gone. It would have been awesome to show you one. Welcome back in the vehicle this side. Just making my way towards Sandy Patch. I don't think there's going to be quite enough time to make it all the way to the hyena den, but we'll check Sandy Patch, see if there's maybe a dappled thing walking around, who knows. As it's getting darker, we had a question from Velma in... I forgot where Velma was from. Whoa, sorry guys. Michigan. Yes, Velma from Michigan. Hello Velma. Just want to check here. I saw some tracks. No, it's hyena tracks. I thought it might be leopard. Velma, you were just asking about the Southern Cross. Now, I love the stars. I used to do a lot of talks on stars on game drives, because we see such beautiful stars here in the Southern Hemisphere. But you were asking if we would be able to see the Southern Cross and whether we'd be able to see it on the camera. Yes, and partial yes to the next question. But we've got almost a full moon. We saw it earlier at Bafusuk Dam. And the moon obviously gives lots of light, and it makes it quite difficult to see the stars. So to show it with a camera, apart from not looking quite as brilliant on the camera as it does if you're sitting here, it would be quite tricky to show it, especially with the moonlight being part of it. So I don't think we'll be able to show it. But once it comes out, I'll show you where it is. We are driving south at the moment. Now, you guys in the northern hemisphere, you're very lucky. You've got the North Star. So if you want to know where you're going, and you know your stars just a little bit, very easy. You see the North Star, that's it. You know where north is. Now, keep in mind, the North Star is a bright star that's in line with that imaginary axis of the Earth. So, north-south, that star is always pointing north, no matter where you are in the northern hemisphere. The Southern Cross is our equivalent of that, but it's not a cross that says there exactly is south. You have to do a bit of sort of mathematics with it. So the Southern Cross looks a little bit like a kite. For those of you that have never seen it or never seen pictures of it, there's actually a fifth star as well, Epsilon Cruxus, but it's not as prominent. And so imagine a kite that's flying like this. Well, I can't turn my hand all the way around, but that's the kite. So a little sort of diamond shape. And then to the left of it are two very bright stars, Alpha and Beta Centauri, the two pointers. And those two stars together. So you've got the Southern Cross, if it was sitting in a perfect position, sitting like that, and the two pointers would be two stars sitting like that. So there's your two stars, there's the Southern Cross. And you take a perpendicular line between the two pointers, and you take the long axis of the kite or the diamond or the Southern Cross, and where those two lines meet, you get your southern point or your celestial south pole, so the equivalent of the North Star for you guys in the northern hemisphere. But depending on the time of year and the time of night, this is turning, because the Earth is turning. The Southern Cross is doing this movement around it. Obviously you can see it 24 hours a day, but you can only see it at night because that's when it's dark. But it is a beautiful constellation, and it's a very, very important one if you want to get direction and you don't have the modern technologies of GPSs or compasses. Back in the day, guys had to work that out, and then from that point they had to then get their sextant out, and then from that they had to work out their latitude. So not quite as easy as just taking your smartphone and downloading a GPS app. Okay, let's look around a little bit. first stars just coming out now, but we've got so much moonlight. It's beautiful. Full moon is beautiful in the bush. You can drive around actually without lights in full moon. Debbie from Ohio is just asking something regarding elephants. Earlier today we were sitting with the female and the two youngsters, and then the bull elephant joined them, and we talked a little bit about estrus for the female and must behavior for the males. Now Debbie was just asking, Debbie, I'm not sure if I understand exactly the two parts of the question, but you're asking with the estrus in females whether that's influenced by the seasons, I presume the sort of autumn, winter, summer seasons, and whether that influences the must behavior in males. Elephants, unlike for instance kudu or impala, a lot of your antelopes, where the seasons play a very definite role in the estrus of the females, or alternatively speaking in when the young ones are born. Most of those animals have got set seasons for rutting. The impalas are going into rutting season now, mating season. With elephants and most of your very large animals, they don't have specific seasons for when the young are born. So an elephant cow could have a calf at any time of the year, and by that obviously it means that they could be in estrus any time of the year. The estrus of females don't put males into must, but bulls in must will go looking for females in estrus. So big bull elephants, we talked about it a little bit earlier as well. A big bull, a guy really in his prime, we're talking about a bull elephant, let's say 40, 42 years old. He would go into must for 3 or 4 months, and in that time he would look for females in estrus and actively seek them out. Ellies are great though. You'll see some more tomorrow. There were lots of tracks today, so we can talk more about it tomorrow. We had a great day with them. Thanks for joining us. From myself, Peter Pretorius, and from Brian behind the camera, it's been a lovely evening, a lovely afternoon, and HT is going to show and maybe let you hear a few things about hyenas. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Well, folks, it's been an amazing day. I use the word amazing a lot, I know, but there's no real other word to describe what happened today. I just wanted to do a little recap for you, and thank you all for your incredible questions. Firstly, that was really a fundamental part of how the wild dog conversation was crafted today. You did that. I've just got to turn my radio down again. I apologise. Okay, that's my the game channel. It's really great to have you on board, and we wouldn't do this without you, and we couldn't do it without you. So the way that you crafted that, I really was happy about today. You were part of it. You were with us. You're with us all the way. So in the beginning, when we first saw those wild dogs, you know what it was for me? I have to be completely honest with you. When I heard through that radio that there was wild dog on Juma, my heart rate just rose, and I looked around at Andrew and I said, that's what I wanted to see today. Oh my goodness, I was like, I can't believe they've come onto Juma. And I really felt that. As soon as I hear the word wild dog, I'm like, I've got to find those guys. And obviously you do just make sure that you be obviously morally and ethically sound about it, but I was really keen to see them. So I really want to thank Peter for pushing me into that, and he's an amazing guy, and he's done that for me today because he knows how much I love them. So I've got to go and find him Karula one day as soon as I possibly can too, if he doesn't. So what happened then was there was a beautiful shot where we were driving along, and the wild dogs were off in about 100 metres from us, and we were driving at the same speed as them. It was about 10 miles an hour, probably just under 20 kilometres an hour. Beautiful shot, never forget that, with the light on the dogs and their beautiful markings going through the golden grass. And then they ended up going down behind the lodge and down to Viatella Dam, which was fantastic to see them drink. Silhouette again, gorgeous light, fantastic looking animals on the water. And then the hyena appeared, and the hyena, there's always a hyena trailing behind looking for scraps of a lot of the predators. But those wild dogs were just like, you are out of here, and they chased him and nipped him and so on and so on. chased him right around the dam, and we were positioned up on the dam wall, so we had a full 270-degree view right around. So it was just beautiful. I really enjoyed that spot. And then we followed them, and then we went through that amazing country, really deep, dark country, left them, came back and found them in the afternoon, got a flat tyre. It was all worth it. And then you saw that pep rally, which was really important, that real fantastic greeting and excitement after they'd all woken up. Beautiful stuff, beautiful day. And all I can say is thank you for being with us on Safari Live. Please come back and join us tomorrow. We'd love to have you in the morning with us. It's been an absolutely exceptional day for me, and as I always say, I couldn't do it without you. I couldn't do it with Andrew, without the big team of people that we've got working with us. It's just amazing. So from me and Andrew, I'd like to sign off for tonight and say thank you very much. We're going to farewell to you from this magnificent location here in the Juma and Arathusa Game Reserves in Sabi Sands. We'll see you just now.